Which is not a politician.
If it's okay for everyone, we're going to start. Thank you so much for being here. Actually, it's very nice to have such a big audience. So let's see what we can do. As you know, we got the chief fun officers between us. We are always looking out to have some fun activities with you, but not only. The idea was also to give you some new perspectives, some new views on some new marketing techniques, and that's what we're going to try today. We started with something not so easy, and that's probably something that should surprise you. It's about gaming. It doesn't sound like insurance will do everything so much about gaming. And again, it's not just about that. So let's start with it. I hope you enjoy.
Turn your back on Mother Nature. Everybody wants to move.
Expect it's caught up. He's got it here. Remember, but he's made it all. Second time production, one driver.
So, what you just saw is just one simple video of promotion about esports. The numbers you saw on this video are only focusing on the part esports, which means sports about games. People playing on games and other people watching them. So, for 3 weeks actually, I saw a very good movie. I don't know if you saw it. Perhaps some of you saw it actually. It's called First Man. Did anyone saw this movie?
First man? Sorry.
The first man that
Yeah,
seems to be. Exactly.
Anybody see The First Man?
So, First Man is actually
How
about
did that end
the
up
first man
there?
on the moon. It's about those people,
Yeah,
the experience they got. And one of the things that is absolutely brilliant in this movie, I can only, if you have the opportunity to watch this movie, it's a very nice perspective on it, giving you the perspective from inside. And at the beginning of the movie, you have an interview with Neil Armstrong. And they are asking him why he thinks it's important to go on the moon. Because of course at this time everyone was thinking, my God, it's a lot of money. For what do we do that? And the answer of Neil Armstrong is just saying, you know, when I go up and I see the atmosphere, I can see how thin it is. And he's just saying, you know, I think it's all about perspective. Once you are up there, all your perspective are changing. And these people did even bigger than that. In one day, the day they put their foot there, they helped the humanity entirely to change perspective about space. And of course, don't worry, we're not going on the moon. I already checked with Marco, we don't have the budget for that. So perhaps next year, he's thinking about it, so who knows. So the idea today is not that, and the idea is not to change the perspective of the world about gaming, but today the idea was simply to say, let's try today to have anyone here to change perspective about gaming. What it is, what can we do about it, where does it go, where does it come from. But it's not the only one, not the only thing. You will see very quickly that gaming is also bound to a lot of things like millennials, communities, new way of communication. All these things are very, very well bound based on gaming. And that's why we choose this example. So at the end of this presentation, I'm not hoping you're going to all go buy a PlayStation or something like that, but I would love if I could have changed some of your perspective about that and perhaps about the marketing done about that. And who knows, perhaps one day we'll do a game together. But it's not the case. I don't think so. So let's start the presentation with a short agenda. I will give you a very short introduction about the gaming industry. It will remember you all probably some souvenirs, pretty nice souvenirs. Then we're going to go about the gaming industry numbers, because this is the most important part of it. It's that the numbers about the industry, how the industry is going, but especially the demographics of the industry, which is very interesting. And of course the future of the industry, where is it going? After that we're going to have a small look on the influencers. You will see that's something that is clearly down to it. and that's clearly bound to marketing, and that's even ignored by the most media, even if one of these, some of these influencers are stronger than New York Times or any kind of media. They have a big audience, much clearer. And that's the question, what do we do with those people? Because they are preparing the future. The next point will be about the channel. There I will focus especially on Twitch because it's the channel that most of the gamers use to stream the games, and that's the one who have the most success right now. But of course you will see that we're going to also talk about YouTube. It will also come in the history of the industry. Last but not least, I will try to give you 2 short examples about what other companies did already in the gaming industry. You will see it's not about just creating a game, it's about communication and binding yourself to your community. And it will be done. Don't worry, this presentation won't last 1 hour. That was a little bit tip for you, so you already have the first gift. You can go out sooner, so don't worry, that's okay. Enjoy the pizza and let's start. So about the history of gaming, as you can see, everything started actually in '72. Perhaps you heard about that, a game called Pong. I think most of you probably already saw this game. So it started in '72 in a small cafe where they put this game in a small barn, and after 1 week, catastrophe, it's not working anymore. They needed 3 weeks to understand what was not working. Actually, it was not the game. There was too many coins in the game, so the game would stop working. So it gives you a first point that as they started it, they were clearly public for that, and people enjoying it. After that, we got in '75. It was the first time that we could put this game not only in a cafe, but in a house. It was the first Amiga that came in. This step is very important because, again, as soon as you get into the house of the people, you start the democratization of the technology. Going on that, '82, Tron, fantastic movie, influenced my entire youth, I must say. There, why do I speak about that? Because of course it's people going into a game in this movie, but then you can see that suddenly it was a cultural element. So again, you are evolving in how the things are interpreted and seen in the culture of people. First, of course, very oriented in the US and a little bit in Europe, but again, the democratization was starting. The NES, I had a NES, I don't know if you had one, I just bought a mini NES because I want to play it with my kids when I will have kids. Yes, I know it's a stupid excuse, but I work with my wife. In '89, the Game Boy was also a revolution because suddenly gaming became mobile and touched again much more people. '90, do you know that? It's the Solitaire. It's the first game on PC, and it was a breakthrough. Why? Again, more people, and not just the people you may think about. My uncle played this game, my dad played this game. They loved this game. And it was a free game, and it was the first time that suddenly, again, gaming is entering every person, every household or minute, everyone knows about it. And suddenly it's come true. After that, we got PlayStation 1, huge success, PlayStation 2. Then in 2004, the rise of Facebook, Internet 2.0, exchange of information, people being able to put message on the internet without knowing programming. I don't know if you know the beginning of the internet, but before Facebook, have you ever thought about I will one day put something on the internet on my own? Mostly you have to go to agency, to a programmer that will do that for you. And again, suddenly, we also see a tendency that all those things start to be very easy. And not for just the technical person, it's for everyone. For everyone. Then we got the next revolution, the introduction of YouTube and the PlayStation 3. Why YouTube? Because suddenly video content was generated. Question for you. What is the biggest search engine today?
The biggest what?
Search engine.
Search engine.
Google.
Search
Google?
engine. No, it's YouTube.
YouTube. Which is owned by
Which is owned by Google, but
alright,
you
alright.
see where I want to
do not know
go.
that,
It's
so.
YouTube.
Yeah.
The most research done today is on YouTube. It shows you also something new about how you interact with information, with data, and even with so many things. Just think about it. As I was a student, I also have a master thesis to write. I have you, and I had a long discussion with them. I had to go to the bibliothèque every time to to find information, to just find content for my presentation, for my thesis. How much were you in the bibliothèque that is 2 months?
No.
Okay, thank you so much. Again, and
Searching.
I go now as a tourist to see beautiful libraries and cities that I
exactly, it's more historically.
just to take pictures.
But again, you see, there is again a huge evolution that happened in something like 20 years. And again, I always saying that, of course, you can find tons of stupid things on internet. But again, Google it. If you Google crap on Google, you will find crap. If you Google, give me a study from Stanford about marketing, you will find it too. Because those people are making that all open for all of us, because they want us to talk about them. They want to be the source of information. So after that, we got, of course, the mobile, 2007. We got the PlayStation 4, 2014. For you to know, again, democratization, I think there is something like 100 millions of PlayStation 4 in the world, sold in the world. They announced that this year, I think. They are going to the next generation, but again, it means it's not just a person like me gaming, it's in the house of the family.
Isn't that the company that did where you could create your own little, that thing you hold, what's it called, the console? The what?
The
No,
Wii.
The Wii.
They did
The
the
Wii
Wii
controller.
design. It was not Sony, it was the other one.
That's
Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo, that's brilliant.
But I think that's a great example, because for me, Nintendo and Sony, you will see after that, are the two companies that really make a lot to democratize everything, to make it available for
So
everyone.
who does the Xbox?
The Xbox is
It's
Microsoft.
It was Microsoft that
Yeah,
did
this
it.
was Microsoft.
It was Microsoft that did that unique
Yeah.
design. It was
Yeah.
for the Xbox.
Where everybody
not
got
for
to create
Nintendo.
their own.
Exactly, yeah.
Their own
Yeah,
color.
they were
Yes,
the first to
yes.
start
Yeah.
with the Kinect, yes.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
true. So going forward, we see in 2016, that's also what's very important, we talked about virtual reality. You saw that, it's pretty complex, you go in a room, it costs a lot of money, but PlayStation introduced for the first time virtual reality in your own place. Which means that the success of virtual reality today is strongly bound to that, because so many people know what it is. And again, virtual reality also brings something that, again, it's not just about gaming, it's about experience, it's about living something, being in the game, or in the experience itself. And there, we are in the future. So what's going to happen? Well, actually, we're going to first talk about some numbers and the demographics. So just for you to know, the industry in 2018 make 137 billion. It's huge, and they are growing. They know they are growing. This will grow till on the next year without a problem. As you see, it's pretty divided. But what is very new is you see that the mobile. Actually, the mobile is the one that is making the most money. It's all about microtransaction. But it's surprising to see, because gaming now is just not what you think on PC or on console. A lot of focus is on mobile. So again, everyone is concerned, because every one of you probably already played a game, even perhaps without knowing it. If you see, again, perhaps, of course, mostly about the smartphone, people also play on tablets, and the console are only 34 billion of this number. So again, I start with it, I start to democratize it, but as you see, it was the point, the point of start, and now it just explodes everywhere. So, if we are looking at, oh, sorry about that. If you are looking at that, it will evolve. And as you can see, strong evolution on the mobile industry. It's the one that will grow the most. Till 2021, 26% growth. Of course, until 2021, they're expecting 11% of growth. So it's not bad. That's pretty good numbers, actually. So again, that's an industry that is moving strictly forward. That's the number one entertainment industry. It's not cinemas. They even, which is incredible, they beat porn, which is unbelievable. Porn was never beaten any time. Well, they were. It's the first time. Yes, yes. I'm sorry. I hold this example. Don't disturb people, but it
There's
was the
probably
most
a porn
consumed
game
to
we
that.
don't know about.
There's probably a porn game. Of course, you're a fantastic game. Yeah.
It's called cannibalization.
Exactly. So if we're looking at what we can take out of this stuff, again, it started 72, but today it's 150 million. It started with one arcade game, and now it's a 150 billion industry. The main revenue of the future will be generated by mobile, which means it touches every one of us. And of course, exactly as you said, Nintendo and Sony PlayStation were, for me, about the game industry, the two main actors to help the democratization. Of course, you also have to integrate internet and everything, but if you are looking at the game industry itself, these two are the ones who help that, and probably are still the ones who are taking us in the future, at least for some things, not for everything.